Today I'm going to be showing you how to get all 3 Reagan Mark II upgrades on the brand new Black Ops 6 Zombies map, Shattered Veil. This includes the Reagan Mark II Preservation, which turns it into a shotgun, the Reagan Mark II Rot Blight, which turns it into a sniper, and the Reagan Mark II Wraith Fire, which turns it into a full auto submachine gun. If you don't know how to get the base Reagan Mark II, link will be in the description to a video on how to do that. First things first, you need to get an empty canister. Now there are 3 different ways to get an empty canister, and you will need one for each Reagan Mark II upgrade. But you can do any of them for each of them. There is not one specific one that applies to each specific Mark II upgrade. One of the canisters is found from destroying the blue rocks around the map. There are 4 different locations and you have to shoot it with the unupgraded Reagan Mark II and it will possibly drop the empty canister. Like I said, there are 4 different locations and it will only be in one of these blue rocks. So you have to just go around and shoot all of them and eventually you will get it. The first location for the blue rock is right outside of the armory in the tunnel on the ceiling. The second location is in the staircase room on the right side of the mansion. It's also on the ceiling in this room as well. The third location is at the left side of the mansion at the little balcony area on the second floor right outside of the nursery room. And the fourth and final location is in the observatory area right near spawn. Another empty canister can be obtained from getting a Casimir grenade and throwing it right outside the barricade right below double tap. So you just throw the Casimir right in front of that barricade and it will pull the empty canister out from the barricade itself and drop on the floor. Of course, you can get a Casimir from the crafting bench, but if you're not a high enough level for it, you're gonna have to wait for it to drop from a zombie. The third and final empty canister is obtained down in the mainframe room. It is locked in this glass cylinder. Just check to see what the letter is on top of the glass cylinder, and then go over to where the Doppelgast is encaged and use tomahawks to hit the valves outside of the map here. Obviously, there is one valve that is already spewing acid. You want to just go to the right of it and then throw the tomahawk at the next valve, and then whichever letter was on that glass cylinder for you, throw the final tomahawk at that valve, and then go back to the glass cylinder itself, throw a Molotov at it, which of course you can also get from the crafting bench, and it will drop the empty canister. If you don't have any tomahawks because you aren't a high enough level to get them directly from the crafting bench, you could either wait for zombies to drop them randomly, or there actually is a couple spawns around the map where tomahawks will automatically just be there. So for example, right when you spawn, there will always be a tomahawk on the little tree stump literally right next to where you spawn. And there will also be one right in the pack-a-punch room as well. So if you don't have tomahawks, just go to those locations and pick up those, and do not miss when you are trying to hit the valves. Now that you've got your empty canisters, let's actually get into the individual upgrades themselves, starting off with the Reagan Mark II Preservation. First things first, you need to get an essence bomb by breaking open boxes around the map. So of course, there's a bunch of those white boxes around the map that if you shoot, it can give you some salvage or other loot, but one of these boxes around the map will have an essence bomb. Just keep going around the map and shooting a bunch of these boxes. There's a bunch of locations, and eventually you will get the essence bomb. Now go to the tunnel and place the essence bomb on this rubble near the level 3 armor wall by, and it will blow up the rubble, unlocking a secret room. Now before you enter this room, go collect 2 reflectors around the map. One of them is in a fountain right outside of the conservatory, and the other reflector is also in a fountain on the balcony to the left side of the mansion itself. Now go back to where you blew up that rubble with the essence bomb and enter that room and place the canister in the machine, and it will start a bit of a challenge. A blue beam will come out of this crystal in the room and it will be shooting against the wall. And you have to place the reflector where the blue beam is shooting, and then you have to follow where the beam goes and place another reflector in the second location where the blue beam is. Then go up to the blue crystal that is shooting the blue beam and melee it, and this will spawn in a Doppelgast, which you then have to kill. And you have to do this 2 more times, but you have to move the reflectors in order to move where the blue beam is going. So to do this, just go up to the first reflector that is being shot by the blue crystal and melee it once, and it will move it in a position to where it'll be shooting the blue beam in a different place. Now go to the second reflector that is not being shot anymore with the blue beam and hold X on it to pick it back up. Then go through the little tunnel entrance up to the second location where the beam is being shot and place the reflector there. You also want to melee it one time to move it, and then it will be shooting the next Doppelgast statue, which you will then have to go up to the crystal again, melee it, and it will spawn in the second Doppelgast, which you then have to kill. And for the third and final one, you just have to melee the first reflector one time, the one that's being shot by the crystal directly, and it will be now shooting the next Doppelgast statue, which then requires you to just go up to the blue crystal again and melee it one more time, and it should spawn in the final Doppelgast, which you then have to kill to finally complete this challenge. You might have to melee the crystal a few times to get it to work, just keep trying it if it's not working because it's a little finicky. Then pick up the canister from the machine and go to the master bedroom, which you could then craft the Ray Gun Mark II preservation in the machine and get to use it in its fullest. And you could also, of course, upgrade it with the Pack-a-Punch machine up to 3 times. Next up is going to be the Ray Gun Mark II Wraith Fire, which is the full auto one. Go to the open garden area to the right of spawn, and there will be a location to put an empty canister. This will spawn in an abomination, and you now have to get the abomination to shoot its lightning at the 3 smaller rocks around this circular area. This will make the rocks glow blue, and now you have to get the abomination to charge at each of those 3 rocks to make them float in the air. This is not that difficult to do. Just shoot at the abomination a few times to get it enraged, and it will run at you, and make sure you're in front of it so it can then run into the rock. After this, you will now have to defend a portal in the middle from a bunch of vermin and zombies. So basically a bunch of zombies and vermin are going to spawn in, a couple other special enemies might spawn in as well, and you have to just protect it as much as you can and try to avoid the vermin and the zombies from getting to that middle portal area. Once this is completed, you can grab the canister from the machine and bring it all the way down to the tunnel areas right across from the armory, and this will allow you to craft the Ray Gun Mark II Wraith Fire, which is very, very fun to use, probably my favorite one so far. And lastly, we have the Ray Gun Mark II Blight, which is the sniper variant. Go to the observatory and place an empty canister into the machine. You will now have to get 4 plant seeds around the map from the little purple mushroom plants that kind of look like the same ones from the tomb. You just have to go up to these plant pods and shoot them either with the original Ray Gun Mark II and not the upgraded variant. If you shoot the upgraded variant, it won't work for some reason. Or you can use explosives such as grenades. All you have to do is throw a grenade at it and it will kind of make this little noise and it will drop the plant seed itself. You have to do this for 4 plants around the map. I will show you a few different locations of where I found the plants in my game, but honestly, if you just go look around the map, you will likely find them. They stand out quite a bit. Now take all 4 of these plant seeds back to the observatory and go to 4 different harvester containers and put in the plant seeds one at a time to then defend it. You have to do this a total of 4 times. Just stand in front of it while the plant is growing and defend it from zombies. And once it's done, you will see the progress bar go up a little bit and then just go to the next harvester to then let the next plant grow. You just have to do this 4 times. All of them are all around the observatory area. I will show you each location now. And once you finish it, go up to the canister and then you can craft the Ray Gun Mark II Blight at the workbench in the garden pond, which is also the spawn area. This is definitely my least favorite of all of them, but it still is overall decent. All 3 of them have their purposes, but I would say the submachine gun one is definitely my favorite of all of them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace out, everyone.